up? Welcome to another video. Today we're watching just another boring video about birds by Casual Geographic. Yippee! Oh my god. I love birds. Oh my god.
Let the baby face and lack of facial hair fool you. Us 90s kids are getting old. And one thing they don't tell you about getting old, that bird watcher phase really comes out of nowhere. You'll just be minding your own affairs
What
and
the?
then
What the?
one day,
What the
unprovoked,
heck?
you'll be like, that is an
pretty.
immaculate looking grackle. We
It
laughed.
is.
The whole time he was right. The bird is the word. And is he wrong? Just look at Buddy go. I could watch that for a couple of minutes without getting bored. This is an American woodcock, and I know what you're thinking.
You guys,
They go by a lot of
what's
names.
your favorite bird? What's your favorite bird, everyone? Mine is the tit.
Such as the
Sorry.
timberdoodle, the bogsucker, and the hokum-poke.
Yes,
As for the partridge plugwalk,
tits.
woodcocks eat worms, and it's believed that a
Do
cute
you think it's okay to say tits on YouTube? I'm talking about the bird. But do you think I will get demonetized for saying tits in like the first minute? Oh, kiwi is also cute. Kiwi is also
little
cute.
woodcock waltz to us is a Category 7 disaster to any earthworms below, and the confusion
that'll be
makes it
fine.
easier for a hokum-poke to poke 'em folks. They do their dancey dance in the name of murder.
They're
And clearly
so
it takes some
cute.
time for a woodcock to get the rhythm right. As you can see for this baby bogsucker, the beat is chasing them. They're just faster, but they're trying, and one day they'll get the motion, and that's all you really can do when you're a little woodcock.
Holy
now, if I've gotten
shit.
older, there's one bird I've really grown to appreciate.
American
This
eagle?
is a blue-footed booby. Now, I know what you're thinking. Let's address it.
That's not real. Sorry. That does... Is this... Are you... Wait, are you sure this exists? This animal does not look real. Right? Is it just me? Is it just me? Am I the only one who thinks that this picture looks very like... It doesn't look real. It doesn't look real. Yeah, it looks fake.
Why blue? We'll get to that, but the blue-footed booby is a seabird of the Sula genus, along with the masked booby, the Nazca booby,
Wait, there's boobies and there's tits? Are you serious?
Peruvian booby, brown booby, and
That's
the
so
red-footed booby.
silly.
Because don't let poor media representation fool you. Boobies come in a lot of colors, but to be fair, you might have only ever seen blue. Well, the blue comes from the carotenoid pigments in the fish they eat. It's really no different from the shrimp that turns flamingos pink. And if you identify as Bugs Bunny, the carrot consumption can tint you tangerine. For bluefoots, the color actually correlates to their health, and by extension,
Who named them? Someone really looked at those birds and called them boobies, and then someone looked at tits and called them tits. What the fuck?
how attractive they are to a partner. And there's no stolen valor in this system. Scientists did an experiment where the boobies starved for 48 hours saw an immediate
such a,
decrease
like,
in the brightness of their
thick
blue.
neck.
They took it a step further by taking a male booby, we'll call him a moobie, that already had a female lay an egg in his nest and dulled his feet with makeup. His mate responded to the nerf by laying a smaller egg days later, one with less yolk concentration and therefore less of a chance of living. So yeah, the brightness of a booby means everything and is a literal blue check that verifies their immunological health. Funny thing,
Not
you
the
see the
blue
same thing
check.
with mandrills. Male mandrills look like they got rear-ended by a snow cone machine because it's a sign of social status. The higher the status, the higher the saturation. But a mandrill that gets regularly bullied and beaten will lose its cheek color, so that's why alpha mandrills look like they're constantly cotton candy constipated. The brighter the butt, the more he procreates. And brighter boobies get more groupies, which is why their courtship display involves birds flaunting their colorway. It's like red bottoms but for crit. It honestly looks like they're on a mission not to crease their sneaks, and the final act of this day
But honestly, that's really cool. I didn't know that was a thing. That, like, you know, birds with blue feet. Kind of cool. I don't
dance
know.
involves the movie presenting
Time
his partner
to
with
paint my
nest
feet
material.
blue. I don't
Even though
know
blue-footed
if
boobies
it
don't
works
even
for
make
humans.
nests. Nah, instead they thug it out on the ground, while defecating 360 until the dried product forms a ring around the nest. Why? Well, as it turns out, boobies have a poor sense of smell, but
Wait, the amount of boob jokes the guy is making are impressive. Wait, is it really? Are they all going over my head? Are all the boob jokes like... Oh my god.
great visual memory, and in a flock of up to 10,000, they recognize their nest by the specific ring of guano, and guano stands for gonna wanna stay in that ring, because somehow that visual memory doesn't apply to their children, and only chicks inside the septic center get fed. Baby boobies that leave the center not only don't get recognized and don't get fed, they might get massacred by their own mother.
Did I just catch you?
Leaving the poop ring.
What?
That's not the only way a baby booby can get deflated. This seabird practices siblicide, because again, don't let the internet's
What's
unrealistic booby standards tell you otherwise. No pair of boobies are
Oh.
exactly the same.
Oh, it's unaliving your sibling? Oh. Oh. Oh.
One's always a little bit bigger. That's
Oh.
okay, it's totally normal, but it does mean
Oh.
the bust to your bosom will bludgeon and bully the weaker chick, often while the parents watch the booby get murked like vasectomy. It usually happens when parents are low on groceries, but sometimes the booby newbie will catch a body just because. The Nazca booby will yeet its sibling out of the nest, even though studies have proven that boobies working together could easily feed both children.
Did I just catch you on the beach?
Alive. Yeah, it ain't all beauty being a booby. Like I said,
my
unrealistic booby
God.
standards aside, they come in many colors, like the red-footed
Peak
variety. Also from their
evolution.
diet,
I
and they
don't
also use their
know.
feet game to secure a mate. Evidently, it might work too
It's
well,
that-
as not
it's
even
so
a predatory coconut
sad.
crab can resist getting grabby with an unsuspecting booby bird. But there's more than just crip-walking unmentionables in the world. There's also tits. I've definitely known to appreciate
Yes!
these.
Yes! I can't believe we're watching a video about birds and all he talks about is boobies and tits,
These feet of
guys.
flying popcorn chicken. Really nothing like waking up and opening your blinds to a nice pair resting outside your
They're
window.
so
Tits are a large family of
cute.
passerine birds seasoned all across the world.
I do-
Alright, let me
I
stop
do
waffling.
love
Let's
tits.
address the elephant in the room. In Eurasia and Africa, they're known as tit birds, but come to America and you'll find they're called. So I get why you're confused. You got an Italian plumber with a Japanese creator using their American name. Understandable, that would trip up anyone. Now with the birds with the tit variety, how they got their name is actually pretty interesting. Back in the day, tit was more like teat, and teat was an old English word for little or small, or even the suggestion of something small. Matter of fact, there was a time where it was used to reference a small horse or pony in the very derogatory. For example, no storing of pasture with baggly tits, with ragged with age, and evil at hit.
They had a derogatory word for horses? Are you serious? That's silly.
Thomas
That's
Tassin.
silly.
Translation: Tommy had a problem with them horses. But yeah, tit means little, and if you don't believe me,
Tit.
pardonnez-moi français, mais petite means little.
Yeah.
So that is un petit pair de tits. Also in old-timer language, mus referred
Not
to
me.
bird, and the game of telephone turning mus into mouse is how there's now a
Thank
group
you
of
for
birds known as
hiding.
titmouse. English lesson aside, when it comes to birds,
Oh my god, Willow mention. What's my favorite tit? Honestly, I think I do like the blue tit. The marsh tit is also really cute. Great tit. Great tit is the best name though. Great tit is the best name probably.
birds, there's a lot of tits in the world, and they come in all shapes and sizes.
The
My favorite
biggest
is the
one?
long-tailed
Okay,
tit.
buddy.
Look,
Okay,
it's like my
buddy.
final boss of bird bias. It's one of Europe's smallest birds, cause you know, they tend to keep it pretty putsy, except in Sweden. They got big ones over there. In fact, it's home to
Ooh.
the great tit.
Is that the great tit? I thought they were less yellow. But this one looks chunky. That's why I like the tits, cause they're like tiny, but they're like round. They're like little fluff balls.
At about 5.5 inches as far as tits go, they sure are. Can't leave the Americans out, so of course we gotta shout out Saltriparus minimus, or the bush tit. And representing the aforementioned titmouse is the tufted titmouse of Texas. Obviously they're found in more than just Texas, but ain't no stops in alliteration station. But back to my preference, the long.
Okay, maybe I like these the most, cause look how tiny they are. Oh my god, they're so tiny. Oh my god, that reminds me. Okay, if you don't want to hear something, actually no, I'm not gonna talk
Long-tailed
about
tit,
this.
and not just because of shape, although I do like them round.
They look like you, you think?
I don't really have
I'm
a preference. They're all
not.
beautiful. He's just built like a perfect snowball, and something
so
about watching them
tiny.
hang in the air is just satisfying. But also because they have a daycare system. Nature just couldn't let a
Hold
long
up, right? I'll tell you guys I'll tell you guys after the video if I remember.
Tit rocks.
But I had a messed up dream.
They have a lot of predators
Let's
like
just say
owls,
that.
weasels, and even unnatural ones like domestic cats they can thank us for. The war on tits means their airborne cotton ball has a high nest failure rate, but the thing is, if their family becomes compromised in the middle of their nesting season in May, because tits usually pop out in the spring, instead of trying again, usually what they'll do is help out a nearby nest. Now the helpers are usually related, but in a study, half of all the long-tailed nests had at least one, and usually more recruits helping the cause. As you can guess, the chicks raised with helpers have a better chance of surviving a trip around the sun, and the experience means the helpers' future children have better luck at life. So basically, these birds are the embodiment of it takes a village, and it's always a pleasant sight to see tits sticking together for the greater good. And I gotta say, out of all these birds,
Wait, what?
I really like the of this one. Also pronounced giz is a term used by bird
Wait,
watchers to
no way. No way. There's no way. Okay, he censored it, so I guess I'm not gonna say it. No way that's also a word that, like, oh my god, you can't make that up. You can't make that up. Yeah, giz, but like, I guess with a J, right? You can't make that up. That all of that is related to birds. Someone did that on purpose. Come on, let's be for real.
Describe the overall appearance or impression
Holy
of said bird,
shit.
typically garnered from attributes such as size, shape, flying pattern, posture, coloration. It's all about aura, the vibes. For example,
Yeah,
some
aura.
favor the J work of a boobie. Me, I prefer the vibe of a long-tailed tit. Everyone has a preference.
Alright.
Woosah. I hope you didn't think we were done, because we also have
Yeah,
the tit babbler of the family Tumulidee. Now you know where the TIT part spawned from, but the babble of it all referenced the constant babbling sounds
Oh,
they
this
make.
one looks silly.
Obviously, the naming guy wasn't into it. There's a lot of types of old world tit babblers, but probably the most famous one is the fluffy-backed tit babbler of Southeast Asia. And honestly, they're pretty, and I wasn't a believer at first, but I do see the fluffy part coming to play.
Honestly, I feel like birds are kind of underrated when it comes to cute animals. Because I feel like there's some, like, everyone knows cats are cute, right? Everyone knows, like, puppies are cute. But I feel like no one talks about birds being cute. This one isn't cute. I mean, it's less cute than the tits, but I think it's still cute because it's like, look at his eyes.
So having a name with babble, it's kind of disrespectful. Surely someone cares for what a talking tit bird has to say, but
Oh my
hey,
God,
it could have
bright
been
yellow.
done way, way worse. This is a dickcissel. It's basically a
they're so
cardinal
cute
you can find in
too.
the American Midwest and Central America. As in, they have all their hanky-spanky fun times in the US Midwest during their breeding season from about early June to mid-August. Then, before fall, the symphony of sizzle dicks migrate en masse to Central and South America. They nest on the ground, and they're highly territorial and will run fades in the name of property development. So if you walk outside to a hyper-pigmented popcorn kernel running the ones, you sir have a case of aggressive dick
Silly.
sizzles.
I
But
want to have a
considering they're only
crow.
5 inches
Really? I
long,
don't think
you-
crows are not bad, but yeah. Wait, what? Sizzle dick? What?
much rather hear those words on your front. So if you walk outside to a hyper-pigmented popcorn kernel running the one fades in the name of property control in South America. They nest on the ground, and they're highly territorial and will run fades in the name of property development.
We need
So
to
if you
say
walk
it.
outside to a hyper-pigmented popcorn kernel running
Sorry,
the ones,
what
you
did
sir
you
have a
say
case
it?
of aggressive
What's
dick
that?
scissors.
What's
But considering they're only 5
Oh,
inches
for the
long,
back.
you'd much rather hear
How did you just say crow? Crow.
those words on your front lawn than from a doctor in a clinic. And the same way the morning dove brings you back to waking up in your childhood bedroom, Dick Sizzle might have been your summer anthem and you didn't
Have a
even
silly
realize
voice?
it. In fact,
Really?
that's how they got their name. Apparently after what the naming guy
Thank you,
thought their song
Tipsy.
sounded like in
Goodbye.
words.
Take care. Have fun.
And somehow that was enough to get named like an STD.
Oh yeah. Also, yeah. Birds singing is also so cute. Crow? Is it just crow?
If that's onomatopoeia, I wouldn't want to be ya. Speaking of which, this is the go-away bird of Africa. Same
Man, sometimes I hate English. Why is it okay, listen. Why is it crow, like crow, but then if you say ow, it's like ow. Come on. Who made that up?
timing is Richard Sizzle. Their lore is that their call sounds like Koway, which apparently was in the neighborhood of Go Away. You know, at first I wasn't feeling it, but if I try really hard, I can make myself hear it. Or I
Oh,
could just
Lord,
be getting
yeah.
Barbied again.
Exactly. English doesn't make any sense phonetically. And that's why people like me they get made fun of for saying things wrong.
Oh, fuck! Those were vintage!
Did he not just curse? The fun
He
thing about
did! He did not say, oh Barbie, come on.
them is it's believed that is an alarm call to warn other go-aways and actually even other animals of predators. Conceptually, if that's true, that's really cool. And that's it for the onomatopoeia portion. Let's talk about the rough-faced shag. It sounds like a euphemism for the cultural appropriation of canine coitus. Really, it's a rare seabird endemic to New Zealand. Shout out New Zealand. A cormorant, if you will. You know what else is a cormorant? I believe you've met. This aquatic attack on Titan is also called
Oh really? If you think oh Barbie, it sounds like he said oh Barbie. Oh, it's a Yanny Laurel situation. Okay.
king shag, and the rough-faced thing comes from the patch of dry yellow skin called the caruncle. Lots of birds have this, like the king
I
vulture.
don't like
By the way,
that.
do not Google caruncles on a pigeon. I'm serious, that ruined my whole vibe. For
I
big
don't
shaggy,
like
the
that.
caruncles really swell up and brighten during
I don't
breeding
like
season.
the caruncles because it looks. I wanna cut it off. Do you see the white and gold dress? Yeah, I see it as white and gold. I have never been able to see the dress as blue and black. I know it is blue and black, like it is that color actually, but I've never been able to see it that way. I've only been able to see it gold and white. Yeah.
Also, that ring around their eye turns an even
green
bolder
needle
blue. It's really
brainstorm.
no
Okay,
different from the
okay.
blue of a booby bird. Consider it amorous eczema. And it's not the weirdest thing a bird will do for attention. This is a sage grouse. And this is the part of the video that might actually get me got. Two things.
Oh my-
One, that's a guy.
Booba.
And two, those implants are inflatable guller sacs that they pop out for female validation.
Yeah, I know it's blue and black in the shadow and gold and white in the sun, but in my brain thinks it's like in the shadow. So for me, it looks gold and white because it looks like, okay, wait, how does this make sense? Okay, so it's just color theory, guys. It's just color theory. My brain thinks it's like in a shadow, like it's like in a shadow. So my brain thinks it's gold and white, but I know it's actually black and blue, like that.
What they'll do is gangs of grouses will gather in groups called leks, that's L-E-K, and they'll display their headlights in a courtship dance that you can actually hear from 3 miles away. It's very competitive, and they'll spend hours a day doing it. And in the center of the lek is the
Oh my
biggest bosom,
God.
the dominant male that gets to mate with pretty much 80% of the girl
Oh
grouses
my
there.
God.
Now let's be honest, you and I probably had the same thought when we saw this.
What do you mean? How am I
How do they
flatter than a
avoid predators when they're
bird?
built like an uppercase cry for attention? Yeah, see, that's the thing though. Grouses have the peacock problem, where their biggest flex often gets them flatlined by predators. Those chesticles mean guy grouses get griefed by eagles so bad that the ratio of girls to guys can be 2 to 1. But there's
More
another
like
bird that gets their
balls?
legs in.
Okay,
This is an
buddy.
Andean
Where are your balls? Okay, don't answer. But I'm just saying, okay? I am just saying.
cock of the rock, and shout out to Peru, that is their national bird, and that is who you can blame for this. They have one of the biggest globes in nature.
No, because
that's how
like
they
it's
look
like
fresh out.
it's like okay, I see that the shape is like it's like balls, but I see that the shape is more like balls, but I think the placement is more like boobs, no?
The shell. The cock of the rock will also gather
What
in
is
legs and
this
also put on a show for female attention.
conversation?
I wish I had more videos I could show you, but apparently cock of the rocks are difficult to witness.
These look
because
really
apparently they're
goofy.
shy and easy to disturb because even a rock cock can get performance anxiety. Again,
Where's
it happens,
the-
it's totally normal.
the-
I mean, not to
the-
this guy, but with a name like
Wait,
Superb
how do
Bird
you
of
call it? Like the mouth of a bird. How do you call that in English again?
Paradise, thinking otherwise would be a failure of your
Bigger
expectations.
and on the-
But
beak,
whether you see it or
beak,
not,
okay.
the bird of Peru really knows how to rock out.
Where's his beak?
Okay, that's gonna do it for this video. I feel like with all the chest jokes I made, it's only right that I donate to the breast cancer organization. So link down below if you'd like to do so as well. Also, did you know 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer? Stop playing with y'all health. Go get screened. A dead boobie's a terrible thing. Also, I feel like I keep forgetting to plug the fact
To the 5% women watching this, or less than 5% women watching this, get tested for boob cancer. It might be, I know here it's free like once a year,
that I have a Patreon. So
So,
if you'd like to
you
support
know.
this nonsense beyond just subscribing, the link will also be in the description. But as always, honestly, I'm not really hurting right now. Like, don't give something you need. Not in this economy.
You're also a
Like,
woman.
it's
I
cool if
know,
you
I
do,
know. I get checked every
but
year.
I don't really need it. I would appreciate if you liked the video. Y'all know I usually don't ask that without offering something, but I think we both know YouTube's not gonna be kind to this one. But yeah, drink water, hug your mother. I'm telling y'all, birds really do be birding. Take time to appreciate. And I'ma see y'all in the next one.
Yippee! Alright, thank you everyone. Thank you so much for watching. You heard the man. Go to his channel. You know, I have a, what is it? This video link is also in the description. And oh my god, they raised $2,000. That's awesome. For against breast cancer. That's awesome. All right, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see me live, come over to Twitch and or just subscribe and like the video and stuff to support me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, YouTube. Bye bye.